Okay, welcome back to the video, guys. I'm actually trying out a different angle. I got my camera set up there to kind of capture what I'm talking about in like a third-person view instead of just seeing it from a first-person view. So today's video, we're going to be talking about how to ride a motorcycle. Now, obviously, the first thing you want to do is have a motorcycle. Any motorcycle is not okay. Me personally, I recommend something that's a smaller cc, such as like a 300, 250, something like that. But if you have prior like dirt bike experience, something like that, maybe, very maybe a 600 will be okay. But it's all about how you respect that power and like how much actual knowledge you have as far as like clutch control, throttle control, like just respect in general for the bike and the machine. So the next thing I'd say after having the bike is having the gear. I cannot stress that enough. Yes, you're going to be starting out in a parking lot like this, somewhere that's flat. Obviously, that doesn't have a lot of gravel everywhere, but somewhere where it's just flat, you can put both your feet down, you're not tippy-toeing, and like I said, the gear is very important. Like, I have these pants on, they're from MBT. You can use my discount code Hollywood, saves you 15%. Obviously, I don't have a jacket on. Me personally, I've been riding long enough. I know if I don't wear a jacket and I go down, I'm taking that risk. But and also I have these summertime gloves. They're just wrist gloves. Normally I wear my gauntlets, but for this you're going to want something that's a little bit more comfortable and you can feel just a little bit better in terms of like just actually like touching things. Because when you add gloves to the mix, it adds maybe like an inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches, depending on the glove that you wear. Because if you're not able to feel and you think it's here, like your clutch, then you just dump the clutch and you're grabbing throttle. Now you're 20 feet down the road and all skint up. But these gloves, they're summertime gloves. They allow me to feel a lot better on the motorcycle. And also I have on Dynacy boots, obviously the infamous white boots, and I have on a helmet. Please, please, please don't forget to wear your helmet, because if you don't, we all know what's going to happen. Now, I do have my helmet. After my helmet, I do have my gloves. But anyways, the next thing to do after you have your gear and you have the motorcycle is to familiarize yourself with said motorcycle. So we're just going to go over a little bit of the components of this motorcycle here. So obviously we know this is the throttle. Let me turn on my music. This is the kill switch here to start and stop the bike. This is your front brake. Make sure you have good brakes. If you don't, I would urge you to take whatever bike you have to go get them serviced or whatever to get a full service on your bike. This right here is your rear foot peg. This is your back brake. There it is right there. And then going around this side, this is your throttle right here. Your left handlebar, obviously. This is your left back peg for your feet. This is your shifter, and that's really about it. Obviously, you know, you got your key here. Turn the bike on. So first things first, I will urge you to remove any distractions off the bike. And by distractions, I mean like phone. So just for this video, I am going to take my phone and put it in my pocket. Any other distractions, maybe like an Insta360 up there or something, just take it off. I know you want to be cool, get your clips, but at the same time, you can put your Insta360 down like I just have my camera here and just put it down somewhere and just get your clips like that. So once you have removed all said distractions and you're ready to mount the bike, so obviously you're going to swing a leg over, and I always grab my front brake to keep me from rolling anywhere when I get on my bike until I get my footing correct. Because like as you guys can see out here, there's a lot of gravel. I want to grab that front brake just in case I slip and fall. You know, I have that front brake and the bike's not rolling back on me or forward. And most of the time I do keep my bike in gear. So obviously this is your clutch, this is your brake. Okay, so from here, you know, you have your clutch here, and I would urge you to let your clutch release out as far as possible just to get started, and then you can move it back to wherever you want, the safest position, to allow your engine to completely cut off and whatnot. Your brake here, it's really at a preference. I keep mine on 4. It's good enough to reach with 2 fingers. I usually just do 1 if I'm stopping, but if I gotta stop fast, I do 2. Might even grab a whole handful, who knows. 6 is a little too close, you know. You can't really I feel like I'm just grabbing everything. I'm just gonna fly off my bike. So 4 is good enough for me. So obviously, you know, you want to start by just taking a feel for the bike, really. Obviously kicking up your kickstand, kind of going back and forth and feeling the weight of the bike. Just kind of get used to that, see how much the bike weighs, and once you get all that down, let's go ahead and turn the bike on. Turn this sideways. I know my screen's dirty, don't say anything about that, okay? So obviously I'm in first gear. I'm going to shift up into neutral. Before I turn the bike on, I'm going to say, we're like right now, we're just going to go over like letting your clutch out. So for this, I'm going to put mine back on too, just so I know where it's at. Just riding your clutch. Don't even pick your feet up. Riding the clutch. You're not even going to touch the throttle. So for that, you kind of want to be easy. Like, don't put all your weight on your front handlebars to where your shoulder blades are going back. You kind of want to like keep your weight on your hips, if that makes sense, and just go from there, really. Don't even touch the throttle. Don't twist it. Don't kind of twist it. Just, you're simply, if it helps, roll your hand back just a little bit and just hold it for now, okay? Because we're just working with our clutch here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike on. Okay, so now that the bike is on, obviously, to put it in gear, you're going to pull it on the clutch here, and down here you're going to kick it into gear, and you're going to slowly release that clutch until you feel it grab. Okay, it's grabbing. Okay, now close it back in. That's all you need. You can honestly get up to, I think, 10 miles an hour on any bike just off your clutch alone, and then you can add throttle. But yeah, so we're just going to work with the clutch here. And that was my biggest, I'm going to turn the bike off for a second. So that was my biggest flaw when I first started riding. My dad called my bluff and he was like, oh, you think you know how to ride because you watch a couple YouTube videos? Let's go find out. This is the same exact parking lot that I started in. So this is just like nostalgic to come back here and make a video about this. But yeah, so we're just going to work with our clutch. Yeah. So obviously pull clutch in, kick it in the first gear, and we're just working with our clutch. We're just letting it grab, not picking our feet up, just letting it grab, okay? And just find your balance and just hold your clutch right there. And as you can see, you just start rolling. We're not, like, my feet are still on the ground right now, and just stop. And you practice with that front brake. Don't just grab it, but practice just slowly grabbing it, slowly applying that brake. And once again, you're going to slowly let off that clutch, just let it grab until you pick up some speed, and then we're stopping. Slowly brake, okay? And that's all you have to do. We're not even touching the throttle right now. I'm doing this, don't do this, but I'm doing this just to show you. You can just use your clutch to ride for the little first bit. I'm just turning around for you guys to show you. Here, let me clear these. Alright, once again, just easing off that clutch. And we're just riding. We're not even touching the throttle right now. Just easing off that clutch. Keep on easing off of it just a little bit. And you'll see, you'll get up to 10 miles an hour just off the clutch. Okay. Clutch is fully engaged all the way back in. Working on using on that front brake. And my feet are still dragging on the ground. Now, once you've done this a couple times, we're going to upgrade it just a little bit, okay? We're going to fully let go of the clutch once we get rolling pretty good. Okay? So now we're at about 10. Now you can fully let go. Just about. My bike doesn't like that, so we're not going to do it because my bike likes to go. So once again, feet are still on the ground. Clutch is fully engaged, pulled in, first gear. We're not even touching the throttle. Just slowly letting that clutch out. because this is the exact way how I learned how to stop and go. And that was my biggest thing I needed to learn. When my dad asked me, oh, what do you think you need to learn on? I said, oh, just stopping and going. So here we go. And this is mostly what your riding is going to be inside the city and whatnot. So if you live in a big city, this is what you need to practice on the most. Once again, just slowly, just ever so slightly keeping your feet above the ground, just in case you need them. And we're just cruising. Now this is going to get tiring because you're holding in your clutch, because mine is starting to get tiring just a little bit, my hand. All right. So now we have that part down. Now we're going to add just a little bit of throttle, just so we can let go of that clutch, because obviously if you don't let go, you know, your hand's going to start cramping up, getting tired like mine is. So we're just going to swap over. And mind you, we're not going on the street in this episode. We're keeping it strictly in the parking lot. So if you could trailer your bike somewhere, have a friend drive it over there for you, that would be perfect case scenario. So now we're going to add just a little bit of throttle. Now me, don't go off of how much throttle I give it. I'm giving it that much throttle because my bike cannot go below 20 to 25 miles an hour or it starts jerking, because I have my bike's pushing 230 horsepower, have a lot of miles done to it. It does not like going slow, like that low of a speed. So me personally, I'm going to give it just enough throttle, that way I can let go of my clutch. You guys, just give it just a little bit of throttle, just a little bit, until you feel it start to pull a little bit faster, above 10 miles an hour, and just keep it there. There's no need for this right here. We're not on the highway. We're just trying to get our bearings down so that way we can work our way to the street and then eventually to the highway. So once again, and by the way, you can put your bike into neutral, not grabbing the clutch when it's turned off. So like now I'm stopped in gear, just roll back just a little bit, pick your foot up, now you're in neutral. So once again, pull your clutch in, foot on the shifter, kick it down once, just a little bit of clutch, feet are still on the ground, finding your balance point, and now we're going to add just a little bit of throttle. Just a little bit of throttle. Alright, once you add a little bit of throttle, grab that front brake, pull the clutch in, and just repeat that process. Now turning around is going to be difficult, but you have to learn that too. So the bigger the further the parking lot, the better. But just know, once you get to the end, you do have to turn around. So you can always put your bike into neutral and just push with your feet to turn around. That way you have both feet on the ground. Or you can be an advanced learner and just slowly let out your clutch and just walk it around, like walk it and turn around like this. Just slowly, ever so slightly doing it like that. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. So once again, we're in first, letting off just a little bit of clutch. Okay, feet are still dragging the ground. We're picking our feet just a little bit to get our balance, twisting that throttle just a little bit, and we're rolling. And then let that clutch go all the way. See, my bike's already jerking, doesn't like that. And just cruise, just with that little bit of throttle. Dump your throttle, pull your clutch in, work that front brake. Okay. Now mind you, this is not rocket science, okay? This just takes a little bit of hand and eye coordination and just a little bit of common sense. As long as you keep it simple, you're gonna be fine. So once again, throttle, kick it in the first gear. I'll do it with the bike turned off. We're letting that throttle go just a little bit, and you'll see the bike start to move. I can't move the bike and let the throttle go, but you'll see that bike start to move. Give it just a little bit of throttle, and the more clutch you let out, just a little bit more throttle, and then eventually you'll feel it catch before it's let all the way out. You'll feel it catch and like release itself, and now it's solely on the throttle. You don't even have to have the clutch in anymore. Clutch, a little bit of throttle. Clutch, throttle, throttle. Now you're throttling, and now the clutch is all the way out. And now you're just cruising. Once again, kick it in the first. Clutch. Let it out to about 5. Make sure you're not really looking down at the speedometer either. I forgot to say that. If you're looking down the speedometer, that could mess you up, and you're trying to hear the bike. You really want to feel the bike, more or less. Because if you're just listening, you're going to end up just dumping the clutch, and it's going to sound like this. You're going to end up stalling, and you don't want that to happen because you're trying to listen to see when it's grabbing, but you really have to just feel for it. So once again, put it back in neutral. Oh, exactly. She didn't want to start. So kick it down first, and we're going clutch, clutch, clutch. Keep on clutching. We're not even touching the throttle yet. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Just a little bit of throttle. Just a little bit of throttle. My bike doesn't like this. Now you can let go of that clutch, and now we're riding. Just a little bit of throttle. Dump that throttle, pull on the clutch, front brake, and just work with that. Just keep on doing that, okay? So once again, once you have that down, me personally, I wasn't like fully I didn't believe in myself enough to get on the street, even though I did ride it from my house around the street to here because my dad was following me, so I felt like I was fine. And like I said, he called my GoPro battery is overheating like crazy. It's causing the camera to shut off. So real quick, if you guys did enjoy the video, hit like, comment, subscribe, share, comment down below if this video helped you out at all. Remember guys, if you need any gear, any cameras or anything like that I use in this video, links are down in the description. Use code Hollywood, save yourself 15% on MBT. Hollywood, save yourself 10% on S360 cameras and Cardo comms. Don't forget to wear your gear. Like I say, don't get caught in the rain. At the end of the day, day's gonna end, new day will begin. Keep on chasing greatness. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.